Hello, this is Nick995. For this video, I'm going to be talking about my very first gaming experiences. So these are the first games that I played, at least on console, from memory. I played games before this, but they're on like old MacBooks, like old games, like Spectre and all that, and all other games, which I'll talk about later in the video. But if you're watching this, please like, subscribe, share the video. Please share the video. I share the video all over. A shout out to people like Josh H, Radio Top 6. Thank you guys very much. But share the video all over. And yeah, so very first gaming experiences. The very first game I ever played. Now I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. I believe it was Ghost Recon Jungle Storm. I lost the case for it. I lost this game many times. I had it, then I lost it. I had it, I lost it. And I bought it again on Amazon last year. Ghost Recon Jungle Storm, now, it's a very unique game. Because, as you guys know, back in those early days, this was like during the days of early Call of Duty and all that. But back in this time, like I didn't know of Call of Duty. So I was introduced to console games through this Ghost Recon Jungle Storm. What's unique about it is that you only see the crosshair like on the screen. You only see the crosshair, so you don't see like your weapon. It's not third person, it's not first person. It's like I don't know what you call it, zero person, if that makes sense. You only see the crosshair, the iron sight. So yeah, you see that, and then like it really help you. It would actually help you like with the aiming, and all that, and zooming in and all that. And yeah, so you go to in this one you playing a squad of 6. So you're one person, then there's 5 other squad members. There's 3 people in Alpha and 3 in Bravo or Delta, one of them. Then you gotta switch. So you can switch between any 6 characters, 6 soldiers. But you guys are gonna die quickly. It's a hard game. One thing about like what I noticed about the older games that they're harder. They're harder than the newer games. When I played this as a kid, I would die a lot. I would get shot easily. I would, like I had no idea like what cover was, and like you're so busy trying to learn the controls. You're not really worrying about, you gotta. You're not worrying about defense and okay, you gotta save your bullets, but like you're trying to learn the controls. So, yeah, that's a wrong case. But yeah, anyways, a Jungle Storm. I sometimes mistake this for Future Soldier, which came out 8 years after this, which is another Ghost Recon game. But yeah, but look it up. Look up gameplay for it. I wish I had a way to show you guys gameplay for PS2. But a shout out to Josh H for showing me that suggestion, like in the other video. Thank you very much. Another thing with this game is that the scenery is very nice. You do a lot of walking. There's a lot of walking that you do. As a kid, I would play this like walking, and then like you can't. I didn't notice like as a kid, but you can't finish a mission until you kill every enemy in the area. So you can't finish. So let's say if there's there's a radar, right? The radar shows, like, will show you like, okay, yellow. So yellow means the enemy is far in this direction. Orange means are you getting closer, and then red means that you're almost there. So as a kid, I didn't really know that. So until I played more and more of it, and then I eventually got the hang of it. But I really like that. I really like that sense, the radar and all that. But yeah, that's Ghost Recon Jungle Storm. I could talk more about this game and its sound design. Like despite the graphics is older, it's obviously gonna be outdated. It's gonna be the graphics is not gonna be good, but the sound design was very good. The sound of the bullets and gunfire, man, it was so realistic. But yeah, another game, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. I talked about this a lot. Yeah, I have Hot Pursuit 3, which came out 8 years after this. So between 2 and 3, there's a 8-year gap. Yeah, so play as racer, play as cop. There's supercars. There's different tiers of cars. And like when I played this as a kid, you I went all the way down. Okay, like you start out like with something like Lotus Elise, a Ford F50, or like one of those, you know. But like eventually, like you go all the way down like to the top tier or high up to the top tier. Then so you can get like a sneak peek like of what's next to unlock. So you go all the way down. You go to like a Corvette, a Dodge Viper, like in one tier. Then the next tier would be a Ferrari 360 Spider, a Jaguar XKR, and then you go on and on and on. And then the bottom tier would be a McLaren F1, which is my favorite car of all time, the McLaren F1, and the Lamborghini Murcielago, Lamborghini Diablo. So I'll go all the way down to those bottom tiers. I mean top tiers all the way around, because the game is set up so the higher classes, the bottom like of the challenges. So like you have to go, like you have to scroll to the bottom to find like those higher tier cars. So I would see the Lamborghini, and then as a kid you're not sure, like you don't know, you have no idea what the hell a challenge, I want to see a challenge is like, what, I have to do all this to get this car, and then it's kind of a bummer. So you gotta, progress like in the game. So that, that the whole idea of progressing through a game, it was amazing. It was like, okay, so I have to do all of this to eventually get this, like I do this to get this, and then eventually, like, you just keep on moving on. Like, I keep on going through the tiers. Same thing. So, same thing too, like for cops. So, however, cops is only like 6 cop cars, which was a letdown. The driving was slow. Again, the driving in this is slow. As a kid, I would play it, and it's like, man, why can't this be more fast paced? Why can't it be more fast paced? But once you unlock those higher tier cars, you're gonna realize that, whoa, this is getting a lot better. It's a lot fast paced. It's no longer slow paced anymore. Yeah, so I believe there was online, but I don't have. Again, back in those days, I didn't have Ethernet, so I couldn't play online. I didn't know of online. Oh yeah, getting introduced to progression cars. The first racing game that I have. Another one I want to talk about is Midnight Club 2. Midnight Club 2, a more faster paced racer game. And I want to say this, racing games you don't see. Why am I saying racer game? Racing games you don't see as much anymore. You just don't see them. Well, it's still there. Need for Speed takes over the market basically. Need for Speed and Forza, but you don't really see them much anymore. But back in these days, they were better. No, Midnight Club 2 is my favorite racing game ever. I can't remember if I played Midnight Club 2 or Need for Speed 2 first, Hot Pursuit 2. But Midnight Club 2 now, I talked about this a lot, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. So, like, just watch my previous videos, the PS2 collection video. You go to, Los Angeles, Paris, Tokyo, and as a kid, like, you played, it's like, whoa, once I finish, okay, like, once you finish that final race for Los Angeles, you go straight to Paris. So, as when I was young, it's like, what happened to Los Angeles? What happened to Los Angeles? Why am I in this area? Like, I didn't know at first that I was in Paris until I saw that giant tower, whatever how you call it, what's the huge statue in Paris called? Eiffel Tower. Man, I have no idea. But anyways, yeah. So you would go there, and then every city plays, like it feels differently. Obviously, Paris is very tight and narrow. There's traffic. Los Angeles is more open space, a lot more, you get to go, again, like you're racing like at night, like for the most part, like it's always dark, so it's always going to be like dark, unless sometimes you can replay races and then change the settings, so like it's in the morning time, you can play in the morning time, like with fog, or, change the weather. So yeah, I'll go, and then Los Angeles, more open spaces, a lot more, obviously, like you have the cities like from North America to Europe, they're gonna look different. And then you have Tokyo. Tokyo again plays more like Los Angeles. Tokyo is similar to Los Angeles, except it's very city oriented. Lots of tall buildings and all that. Lots of tall buildings. And yeah. So the unique thing about this is that you can't finish a race. You would have a race, right? You can't complete the race until you come in first place for that race. So every race, you're competing against these AI players, these like him, like Dice. You see like animation of him talking to you, and then so you have to race him. Dice, spoilers, is a champion for LA. So Dice, you gotta race Dice, and then so you can't complete. Like you'll have two races for Dice. You can't complete that until you come in first place for each race. So you have to really know. And as a kid, like I would struggle because you have to know. Sometimes the checkpoints they're not in order. You gotta race through like all the checkpoints in order to finish that race. Sometimes it's not in order, so you can choose exactly which way to go. But like, you gotta know which path like, is the fastest because again you wanna come in the first place. And the AI is very smart. The AI is very good. It's very good. It's very challenging. That challenge. So really that sense of challenge and again coming in first all the time. And yeah, and again the animations were top notch. The animations for the characters, the competitors that you race, and they'll be trash talking you and all that, and doubting you, and then you're obviously this American, so you start out even though like you don't know like who your character is, you're an American, then you go to Paris and Tokyo, and you see how they treat Americans differently. Some races don't like Americans and all that, so there's different. You really get to see that culture effect and all that, and competitive spirit and trash talk and all that crap. But yeah, I highly recommend this. And then there's a one mission as a kid I'll play where you play as a cop. It's in Tokyo. You play as a cop, but it's only for that one mission unless you play an arcade mode. It's like, so when I was young, I was like, why can't I play more of this? This is so sick. This is so amazing. I want to play more of this arcade style, cop mode. Man, like really, like very good. And there's over like 40 different cars. Every time you beat somebody, competitor, you gain their car. So, but you can always, go between cars and all that. But difficult game, just like Ghost Recon. Used to like hard, difficult games. Takes time. You have to really plan out, and but now going back, looking at it now, they'd be easier for me to play because I have more patience and I can really like sit down and understand. Okay, I know how this race goes, or I know where the soldiers are like in this map, or like you're very experienced like how to take cover and all that. So last one I want to talk about SOCOM 1 now. Same thing, just like Ghost Recon. I lost it, I regained it, I lost it over the years. And thank God for Amazon and Facebook Marketplace. So SOCOM 1 similar, well, it's similar to Ghost Recon, but it's third person in a squad of 4, but you can only be that one person in the squad. So yeah, you play. And yeah, this is probably this was like early. Like, this was like one of the earliest experiences I've ever had. Like, this is amazing. It's very what I love about it, attention to detail. Again, you shoot some, but there's blood obviously, but obviously the graphics are due to the graphics. The blood isn't as detailed, but like you would shoot somebody, then like you see blood, in my parents saw me playing. It's like, no, don't play it. It's too violent for you and all that. So you would take down the enemy. And what I loved about it is, as a kid, you would play, and then you could, every time you take down an enemy, you shoot an enemy, you take their gun or whatever, and it's like, wow, this is really special. This is something really special. You get to, and or if you have that gun, if you play Call of Duty Scavenger, if you have that gun, every time you pass that same gun like on the floor, you will get bullets for it, extra bullets. But again, the sceneries, you're in Russia, you go to India, you go to, I believe, an African country, the Middle East, and there's another, South Africa, one of those. But yeah, you go all over. There's ops you go all over the world, and it's kind of a realistic take on what it would be like to be a Navy SEAL on a squad of 4. Again, it had online, but I didn't play online because I didn't have Ethernet. But I have to play online for this one day. But all very special games. Again, like special, like challenging, progression, and different tiers of car and racing and areas to go, scenery. Again, the scenery, I could talk like so much about the scenery in these games. The scenery, like, man, like you play a game, you play these games, and it's like the scenery. It's beautiful. You're going from obviously Need for Speed. You're going in jungle, no, like forests and deserts, wide open areas where you see like beach area, the beach and all that. And Midnight Club, you're going, obviously you're mostly like in a city area. You go to the city area, but you see different parts of the city, the suburbs, the more downtown areas like the city. It's very nice. It's very, very, very nice. And SOCOM, obviously go to different countries as well. So yeah, it's very lots of attention to detail. So I get introduced to, as a kid, I got introduced to progression, attention, obviously the different graphics in games and tier levels, challenge modes, and shooting, difficulty, how to take cover, and all that. Like all the basic things now that you like as a more experienced gamer would look at and then say, oh wow, this is easy. But yeah, man, lots of great memories like with these games. They're basically my foundation for like my earliest gaming experiences. But yeah, anyways, that's it for the video. Please like, subscribe, share the video all over, please. Share it all over Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Thank you.